Hey, what is going on, guys? Beast Jared here, and today I welcome you into the venue to talk about Yordenis Ugas versus Manny Pacquiao. Now, obviously, initially, we were supposed to get Errol Spence versus Pacquiao, which undoubtedly would have been a better fight. It was the fight that everyone was anticipating. You were anticipating it. I was anticipating it. It was going to be a showdown for the ages. A huge test for Errol Spence, a huge potential final test for Manny Pacquiao. But unfortunately, things happened. Errol Spence got a retinal injury, and it is what it is. Uh, we will get a good fight with Yordenis Ugas, and I think that if you really think about it, people are writing him off more than they should. The way I've been seeing things, a lot of people are counting out Yordenis Ugas because he hasn't had the amount of competition that a lot of the other welterweights in the division have had. And that is a good point, but we can't forget that Ugas arguably beat Sean Porter, and this was a Sean Porter coming off the Danny Garcia fight, a Sean Porter who had already had experience from fighting Thurman, from fighting Kell Brook, from fighting a bunch of welterweights, and Ugas just came in there and handled business. Not only did he handle his business and arguably got robbed by Sean Porter, he even knocked him down in the fight, in my assessment. Could there have been water on the floor? People like Thurman have said that they believe that there was water on the floor. I don't know 100%. We don't have 4K boxing streams, which I wish we did, because then we would see the truth behind everything. But you have to give Sean Porter credit. He did box around Ugas, and he did what he could to win, and he got the decision from the judges. But in that fight, you have to realize that we saw a display of Ugas's power, Ugas's combinations, and even the fact that he has a really good chin. Has he been knocked out in previous fights by lesser known names? Yes, he has. But I adamantly believe that he has learned from his mistakes, and that he can bring all the experience that he has had into this fight with Manny Pacquiao. Now, when we look at this fight, we know that there's an obvious difference in height. This is nothing new to Pacquiao. He's about 5'5", 5'6", and he's usually on an uphill battle. He's fighting guys that are much bigger than him, sometimes stronger than him, not oftentimes faster than him, but that's what makes Pacquiao so good. That's what makes him able to fight at such a high competition. But in the case of Saturday night, he is fighting someone that is taller than him again, and not only taller than him, but taller than him by quite a big margin. Now, we've seen that Pacquiao often has struggled against guys that were a bit taller than him in recent memory. Now, that would go for Jeff Horn. Even though I thought he won that fight, he had a bit of a hard time. He was a big guy. He was putting it on him. And, it was a tough challenge for him. And it made me question Manny Pacquiao. And it started to make me question his age for the first time, on if he's really able to keep fighting guys that are bigger than him and possibly, stronger and more durable than him. And we see that in the case of the Thurman fight, that although he did win the fight convincingly, it was a struggle for him. He looked pretty beat up after the fight. He looked a little tired. It didn't look like the same Thurman. It didn't look like the same Pacquiao, rather, from the old days, who would have definitely knocked Thurman out in the fight, which is understandable because he's a bit older. But Yordenis Ugas is a man of a tall frame. He has strength, and we've seen that Manny Pacquiao has been knocked out by Marquez, someone who is, around his height. He did get a perfect punch at the chin, but who's to say that Ugas doesn't land a punch to the chin? And my assessment, I feel that Ugas is a lot stronger than Marquez. We heard on the Porterway podcast recently that, Yordenis Ugas has a good strength factor to him, and that strength obviously contributes to his power. Will Manny Pacquiao be able to take repeated shots from Ugas, repeated power shots from Ugas, even though Pacquiao is fast, even though he could maneuver around the ring, even though his defense is actually underappreciated. Can he block Yordenis Ugas' punches the whole night? We just don't know. We don't know how he's going to handle it. We don't know if he could possibly get knocked out, if he could get stopped. My bets are on Manny Pacquiao, but I believe that this fight is a lot closer than people think, and there's a reason why Pacquiao is saying that this could be his last fight and that he's taking it one step at a time, because everyone that he fights from here on out, starting with Broner and Thurman, has the chance to beat him. So be wary that this fight is going to be a great fight. It's going to be, it could be a close fight, but I think someone is going to get knocked out, and I wouldn't be surprised either way. What do you guys think? Do you think that everyone is writing off Ugas, or do you think that Ugas isn't at the top caliber level that, you know, a lot of people believe he isn't at, and you think he gets washed by Pacquiao fairly quickly, fairly early? Let me know, and I'll definitely be back to talk about the fight when it happens.